Good afternoon, I'm Jeff. I'm a sewer tech Northwest. Today we're at property address 3132 Southeast 71st Avenue here in Portland. We're located in the basement. We're going to access here through this like a 1.5 inch ABS clean out here on the floor. There's actually a couple of them leading all the way back to that drain there. I do not see a main 3 or 4 inch clean out down here. Anyway, we're going to insert the camera and check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. Currently have water running. Here we go. Okay, we just connected on the main line. That's this larger, it looks like it's a 3 or 4 inch cast iron line. Alrighty, here at about 77 feet out, looks like we have a pretty large hole here on the side of the pipe. I'm trying to clean the camera lens off here. Anyway, there's a big old separation here in this joint at 75 feet, and then right past that point here, this joint looks like it has it almost looks like a rat tunnel that's come through there. That's a big hole come through the pipe. So unfortunately, this is as far out as I'm able to get. Most likely, we're pretty close to the main lateral at this point. I will go do locates to verify where we're at exactly. And the reason I can't get past this point is the camera wants to go right into this hole. Alright, I did locate the spot here, and I'm picking the camera signal up. We're about smack dab in the middle of the street, which would put this in the city's jurisdiction for responsibility. I would recommend contacting the city and submitting the video to them so they're aware of this. That's a pretty large hole there on the side of the pipe. Could be allowing water to seep out of the line. It looks like we've stopped short here, just shy of the main lateral as far as I can tell out there in the road, but this is about smack dab in the middle of the street. Got another bad joint here about 75 feet out as well. we got another damaged joint here. Pipe is either settled there or it's kind of broken away. It's kind of hard to tell. The concrete line here is showing quite a bit of wear. There's a lot of aggregate rock showing through. It's getting very obviously. You can tell there's some big old holes in the line. There's another large separation there in the. This looks like a joint. Yeah, big old separation here in the joint. Looks like a hole has been created there as well, possibly by rats or something of that nature. The concrete pipe is basically it's at the end of its lifespan. It's becoming eggshell thickness. I'm going to pull back here and try and locate where the street curb is at. If there's anything in Multnomah County from the curb out is the city's responsibility. I'm going to more focus on the things that are on the property here, but definitely recommend submitting this video to the city. This line is in rough shape, at least in the concrete portion anyway. Big old separations and openings in the joints there. I'm going to go locate here. This might be where the street curb is at. Okay, where I located this right here is only about 8 feet or so in front of the house. There's about 20 feet of the scope here is taken up with drains underneath the basement floor. I'm going to push out here to roughly where the street curb is at. Now there is a portion of this of the concrete pipe here that is on property. All right, I pushed out here to about 58 feet, and this is just past the street curb here. So basically, we're going to call this the street curb. I'm having a little difficulty getting my locates are coming in fairly accurate, but the depths are bouncing around a bit. There's a lot of overhead power lines running directly over where I'm locating. I'm getting depths around 7 feet here, which sounds about right for this style of home in the basement. But then if I just adjust myself a little bit, I'm picking up the locator 13 feet deep. So most likely my locator is picking up somewhat on some of the interference from the power lines. So I do recommend having locates performed just to double check those depths. But I have put paint markings out on the ground. My locate is moving consistently as I push the camera back and forth. But I recommend updating at least this concrete section so far. It's in rough shape. You've got, again, joints like this that are separated and breaking. I have another offset joint here in the clay pipe. There's actually 2 joints there that are become offset, or separating anyway. This joint right here is definitely offset. The pipe has sunken down a little bit there. So that was the transition from cast iron over to terracotta there. And this cast iron pipe is settling, or has settled anyway. I'm going to start my markings right here at about 26 feet. From this point out to the street curb, I recommend updating the sewer line. We've got standing water in the cast iron. The clay pipe is in somewhat decent condition, but there's about 3 or 4 joints in the clay pipe that are showing separation at the top of the line. And then from the concrete out, the concrete itself is just it's in very rough condition. You've got a myriad of holes and open joints in that concrete section. So the line is old, it's ready for an update. Alright, so at this point here, I had to push the camera out a little bit. Right where the standing water starts, the line is directly beneath the front foundation wall. Comes out just off to the left of the front stairs. Right about here, it was just about 27 feet, 26 feet. This is where the standing water begins. I had to push out to about 28 feet to actually get a locate. I'm picking up the depth right outside the foundation wall at about 5 feet 8 inches deep. Again, with all the overhead power lines and everything crisscrossing around here, I do recommend relocating to double check the depths. But 5 feet 8 inches is very standard depth for a line coming out of basement floor level. I recommend replacing the line from this point here at about 27 feet, or basically right at the foundation wall, all the way out to the street curb, which is at about 58 feet. It's about 30 feet of sewer line. We've got standing water there in the cast iron. The clay pipe here is showing there's 3 joints in this clay pipe here that have separations at the top of the line. We just went past those. And then from once we get to the concrete here, it's just in very rough condition. We've got separated joints as well as holes opening up in the sidewall of the pipe where those joints have separated at. And unfortunately, due to the standing water issue in the cast iron part, the rest of it could be corrected by doing a pipe sleeve. The rest of this line looks like it's draining out okay. But I would definitely look into all those different types of repair methods, traditional versus doing a pipe sleeve. It would save a considerable amount of money to do a sleeve, because a bit of this line here is under concrete. Were you to do a liner here, obviously this is what's going to be left over. They may or may not touch the cast iron pipe to do a liner. So you would retain some of this standing water here, which is sitting at about, it's right around a 1/2 inch, maybe just shy of that. Okay, I'm just about to pull the camera head out of the line here. So kind of as an overview, I recommend updating the line from the foundation of the house out to the street curb.